There I was, staring at my textbook like it was some ancient manuscript I'd never decode. 10 minutes would pass, and my phone was already in my hand. Half an hour later, I'd burned through Instagram, sent replies to memes I didn't even find funny, and for some reason, I was deep into a documentary about penguins battling over pebbles. Every night, I'd make the same promise. Tomorrow will be different. Spoiler alert, it never was. Then I stumbled onto something that completely rewired how my brain worked. It wasn't some trendy app or secret study method. It was something almost embarrassingly simple, a dopamine detox. I know, it sounds like internet pseudoscience. But here's what shocked me. It didn't just fix my focus. It made me genuinely excited about learning. Like, actually craving it. Let me show you how it happened. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Most of us aren't lazy. We're just drowning in stimulation. Your brain is getting hit from every angle. Pings, swipes, likes, comments, endless streams of content. All of it triggering little dopamine bursts. So when you finally settle down to tackle something challenging, your brain practically throws a tantrum. Where's the excitement? Where's the instant payoff? We've essentially trained our brains to expect immediate rewards for everything. Study for an hour? No instant gratification. Work on a difficult project? No quick dopamine hit. So naturally, your brain does what it's been conditioned to do. It runs toward the easy stuff. This isn't about willpower or discipline. It's about brain chemistry. And once I realized that, my entire approach shifted. You've probably heard dopamine described as the feel-good chemical, but that's misleading. Dopamine isn't really about feeling good, it's about wanting. It's the drive chemical, the one that says, this matters, go after it. When your brain is constantly flooded with dopamine from endless scrolling, sugary snacks, or binge-watching shows, why on earth would it choose reading dense material or solving complex problems? It wouldn't. Plain and simple. That's where the whole concept of a dopamine detox becomes a game changer. You're not trying to eliminate dopamine that's biologically impossible. You're resetting your brain's threshold so that meaningful, challenging tasks start triggering that reward response again. Before I understood any of this, I tried everything you can imagine. Forcing myself to study longer, buying elaborate planners, guilting myself into productivity. None of it worked because I kept giving my brain those easy dopamine hits between tasks. Study for 10 minutes, check notifications, read one paragraph, scroll through Twitter, watch a lecture, then reward myself with an hour of random videos. My brain learned the pattern. Why work hard when scrolling feels just as rewarding? And even when I managed to sit down and study, I felt foggy, distracted, and unmotivated. Then I came across this idea of resetting my dopamine system, and something just clicked. Let me explain how this works. Your brain is constantly calculating effort versus reward. When the effort feels high but the payoff seems low, your brain files that activity under pointless. There's actual research showing that when animals put in effort without sensing progress, their brains release stress chemicals until they quit. Sound painfully familiar? Ever started learning something new? Got frustrated quickly? And abandoned it because it's just not working? That's your brain deciding the effort isn't worth it? But here's the fascinating part. When you remove those constant, easy dopamine sources, your brain becomes more sensitive to subtler, deeper rewards. Finishing a chapter feels genuinely satisfying. Solving a tough problem becomes actually enjoyable. Completing a solid study session leaves you feeling fulfilled. That's the reset in action. To be completely honest, when I first heard about dopamine detox, I thought it was overblown internet hype. No phone, no music, no entertainment. It sounded like something a hermit would do. But I decided to try it on my own terms. I wasn't trying to become a monk. I just wanted my attention back. Here's exactly what I did. First, I chose one full day, a quiet Sunday. No social media, no YouTube, no games, no mindless phone use, none of the easy dopamine sources. Second, I filled that day with simple analog activities, reading physical books, writing by hand, taking long walks, just thinking. And you know what? At first, it was genuinely uncomfortable. I felt restless, almost anxious, reaching for my phone even though I'd left it in another room. But after a few hours, something shifted. The cravings faded. My thoughts stopped racing. I felt calm, present. That stillness, That's where everything changed. I didn't stop after one day. Over the next week, I built new patterns. No social media before noon. No screens during meals. Deep work blocks with zero distractions. Walking without podcasts or music. The first thing I noticed was mental clarity. I could actually think in complete thoughts again. Then came something unexpected, genuine motivation. Studying stopped feeling like a chore and started feeling like something I chose. I found myself wanting to read instead of scroll, preferring notes over notifications. It felt almost surreal. And the motivation wasn't that hyped up, forced kind. It was quiet, steady, sustainable, the kind that actually lasts. Before the detox, I studied because I had to. After the detox, I studied because I genuinely wanted to. I stopped obsessing over the perfect productivity system. I stopped downloading every new study app. Instead, I focused on one thing, working with my brain's reward system, not against it. That meant starting with small, achievable wins to build momentum. Celebrating tiny progress, yes, even just finishing a single page. Ending study sessions while I still had energy left, so I'd actually look forward to the next one. I realized motivation isn't something you hunt for or wait to arrive. It's something you cultivate by respecting how your brain actually works. And once you stop fighting against your own neurology, everything gets easier. If you've never tried a dopamine detox, here's a simple framework to get started. For beginners, skip your phone for the first hour after waking up. Use website blockers during focused work time. Replace social media breaks with short walks or journaling. For a full day detox, no screens unless absolutely necessary for work or communication. Read a physical book. Do something with your hands. Cook, clean, draw, write. Walk without any audio input. Be bored intentionally. This is key. For an advanced reset, only when you're ready, cut out all high stimulation inputs for multiple days. Focus deeply on one meaningful project. Lean into the discomfort. Give your brain time to recalibrate itself. Remember, this isn't punishment, it's rehabilitation for your attention span. Before you dive in, let me save you from the mistakes I made. Don't try to quit everything at once. You don't need to go full isolation mode overnight. Start small. Don't just replace one distraction with another, deleting TikTok only to binge. Netflix isn't a detox. Don't expect it to feel amazing right away. The discomfort is part of the process. The clarity comes after. Don't treat this as a one-time fix. Your brain needs regular maintenance, not just one dramatic cleanse. Think of your attention like a muscle. It needs rest, training, and protection. I didn't transform overnight, but one detox led to another. One focus session became two. Gradually, my brain changed. I started genuinely enjoying difficult tasks. Learning became something I craved. And now, I don't wait for motivation to show up. I just begin. If you feel like your attention is broken, if procrastination has become your default mode, if nothing feels rewarding anymore, you don't need to force yourself harder. You don't need to beat yourself up. You just need to give your brain room to reset. Try the detox. Reclaim your focus, and rediscover what it feels like to genuinely love learning again.